Well, welcome to our podcast. Somewhere between bad bosses, HR nightmares, and burnout, we realize that no one actually teaches you how to lead. So we're talking about it the real way. Yeah. This is barely manageable because leadership isn't perfect.
And neither is this podcast.
It's barely manageable. And I'm here with Mary Linkus.
Hello, I'm Mary Linkus, and just a little bit about me. I have 27 years, cumulative years in human services professionally, 18 of those in management, and not including other management positions that I've done in my life. Like, I feel like motherhood is management.
Absolutely.
I feel like, just running a household is management.
Yep.
I feel like I kind of organized people as a child even.
Yes.
I remember one time I kind of kidnapped this little girl down the street and her parents didn't know where she was because I needed a playmate. So I was like, come on, we're going to go play house. And then like her parents called the police and everything. My mom yelled out the window, Mary, do you have a little girl back there with you? Okay, well, everybody in the neighborhood's looking for her. So I didn't know she wasn't allowed to leave. Anyway, so just kind of directing people, telling them what to do pretty much my whole life. So, and this is Dana Kelly.
Yeah, and I'm Dana Kelly. I have 24 years in community mental health, and 21 years of that has been in management. I also feel like I've been a boss for, 42 years of my life because I am the big sister of 3 girls. And I'm a Gen Xer, so I was left alone with my sisters, bossing them around, But unlike actual, management, I could just beat them into submission.
Yeah, you're allowed to beat them. You're not probably allowed to do that in professional life.
I think that would be frowned upon pretty bad. So
I mean, let's be clear. We're not experts, okay? But we do have decades of experience in supervision.
Yeah, and we have unique experience muddling through this
just
mess.
muddling through, man.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire sometimes.
That's right. All right, so this week we're going to talk about how did we end up here?
How did we end up here?
Where are we? Where are we right now? We don't even know.
I don't know.
Not sure. So, I mean, first of all, just get to know us a little bit better, Dana. What's been going on with you lately?
Well,
how's
just
this week been?
The week has been terrible because, I mean, just work-wise was kind of in a mess.
Same.
All the time.
It's a full moon.
Gosh. And that matters.
Really does.
People don't believe that, but I know nurses do. I've got some nurse friends, and they'll tell me some crap that happens when there is a full moon, and we deal with children. And for sure, they go crazy on a full moon.
Yeah, and staff.
And
also
staff,
go crazy.
yes, they will lose their mind as well on a full moon. But also, I've just been dealing with all this allergy crap. Living in Middle Tennessee is like the cesspool of allergens. And so I've been taking all the meds.
You have to take care of yourself, Dana.
I try.
If you want to take care of other people, you have to take care of yourself first.
All right, Mary, I'll put on my mask before I help my...
I was trying to avoid that analogy.
No, I know where you were going. You were going to say that I needed to put my mask on before I helped another in a plane that's on fire.
Mm-hmm. I tried to do something for myself yesterday.
Okay.
After this chaotic week, I really tried to take care of myself.
Yes, you said you were going to. Tell me about that.
Well, so my friend Kelly had reached out to me and she said, hey, do you want to go to yoga with me on Friday night? And it's 5:45, so it's a little bit later. You can probably make it. And it's this restorative yoga, and it's like candlelight. And It sounded so great. And I was like, man, after this week, I could really use that. Yeah, I mean, we got to get ready for the podcast and everything. But, yeah, I think I can do that. I'll meet you there. And so we signed up, and everything. And then I don't know what happened. I left the house at 10 after 5, and then I got a phone call, and then it was a crisis, and then I had to call somebody else, and then I just kind of got wrapped up in that stuff, and I had to go by the office, and then I get this call from Kelly, and she's like, are you close? And I looked at my watch, and I went,
no.
It's 5:39. So I said, I'm on my way. I'm thinking I can still get there, right? It's all the way downtown. Like, I'm thinking I can get...
How late were you?
Huh?
How late were you?
It started at 5:45. And so I think I can still get there because, it's Cookeville. And sometimes you can get to the other side of town in 5 minutes, but not on a Friday afternoon.
Fridays are horrendous.
So then I'm driving down the road really thinking I'm going to make it by 5:45. And I get this call from this unknown Cookeville number, and I just knew to answer it. And I answered it. Mary, is this Mary? This is Taylor at the yoga studio. I was just calling to see if, maybe you were going to still be able to make it. And I was like, oh, I don't know, Taylor. I was like, I'm so sorry. Just start without me. No, we would like to have you. I've got you set up in the back. How late do you think you're going to be? And I said, I think I can be there in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to come out. And 5 minutes is
these are very...
Yeah. She's like, I'll come out and meet you. It's okay. But if you're more than 5 minutes late, we really do have to, just get started with it. Okay, fine. Taylor, thank you so much.
Taylor, I've already told you.
I'm like, I got to get to Taylor. I told her I'd be there. Like, I'm driving down the road. And then, so at
feel
about...
real relaxed when you
I
pull
just
into
so,
yoga.
yeah, I'm like, I got to get to yoga. And so at some point it was like 5:52, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm not there yet.
I'm not gonna make it.
So I'm not gonna make it. And I looked over, and it was like, oh, there's a brewery.
I'm just gonna pull into here.
This is a sign. This is a sign. So I think that what needed to happen, I needed to get Kelly there. That's what needed to happen. She signed up because I was going to sign up. So that's the story I'm going with. Like, Kelly needed the self-care. I just needed a beer.
Yeah, not that you can't manage time, because earlier that week you showed up 30 minutes early.
Actually, Kelly did speak in my defense to the yoga teacher. She said, this is not like Mary. She's... I know.
You did.
That's because I got my... Yeah.
See, okay. So it's not that you don't have problems with time management at all.
Anyway, that's not really what this... Well, it is. Self-care is a part of...
Leadership.
Yes. That's important. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was going to ask you something. Since we're talking about how did we end up here?
Sure.
I was reading something, which, I'm like, don't study management. So I came across something called the Peter Principle.
Okay.
I think
never heard of that.
Also, I'm going to be really careful about that because I feel like I'm going to spit onto the microphone every time I say it. You've never heard of the Peter Principle?
No.
I'm also going to say it wrong. Okay. I thought this was really interesting. Now, so this was a book that was written in 1969. I'm just going to tell you a little story. Okay. You ready? Okay. Get your blankie.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm all comfy.
You ready for story time?
I'm ready for story.
Okay. So the Peter Principle was a book that came out in 1969. It was a term coined by Lawrence J. Peter. His last name was Peter.
Okay. I thought his first name was Peter, but okay.
It could have been. It states that in a hierarchy, employees are promoted based on their current success, not their suitability for the new role. Does that sound familiar?
It does.
Consequently, people keep getting promoted until they reach a position where they are incompetent, at which point they stay, causing organizational stagnation.
Or
like
chaos.
That. I'm going to use that organizational stagnation. I'm going to use that.
That's better than a dumpster fire.
Yes. Okay. So some key aspects are promotion is based on past performance.
True.
So an example would be a great salesperson is promoted to manager, even if they lack management skills,
sure.
Right?
Yes.
So you might be really good, and we've seen this. You might be really good at the job you're doing. So because you're really good at that job, you get promoted. Mm-hmm. And then another key aspect is the level of incompetence. People rise until they no longer do their job well. Then they stop rising. And the result, eventually every position tends to be filled by an employee incapable of fulfilling its duties, leading to inefficiency. So this was all like, apparently this book was written as sort of, tongue in cheek. Like it was just supposed to be kind of funny, but it was, funny because it was
too
true.
Real, right?
Yeah. And, let's see, common things that have come out of this, like things that people say, like promoted to incompetence, final placement syndrome.
Oh.
I like this one. The cream rises until it sours.
Ooh, yes.
Ouch. Stagnation in leadership. I'm really liking that word, stagnation. I'm going to use that more. And then it says, like, how to overcome it. Train first, reevaluate roles, whatever. That's boring.
So, that's not real, boo.
Okay, but I just wanted to show you this picture because it's like, this is like the original, one of the original book covers. You see it?
Yeah. So,
it's like
I know you all can't see it, but it's like a thermometer. And it has like levels. So like the bottom level is like super competent, and then it kind of moves up to competent, and then at the very top is incompetent. So like as you rise, you get worse.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Okay. Now, also this is interesting. I'm going to give you a chance to say something about this. Story time's not over yet.
Okay.
I also thought this was interesting. There was a sitcom in the 90s called The Peter Principle. Is British.
Okay, I was going to say, Mary, I'm a child
because
of the 90s.
Course it was.
Because
no, you didn't know about it.
I had no idea.
No, because of course it was. Because where did The Office start?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it could be kind of considered a precursor, just the sort of like,
tongue-in-cheek kind of like
goofy boss, like why is he our boss kind of thing. It wasn't filmed the same way like The Office used that, documentary style filming or whatever they call it, however that's filmed. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, that there was a TV show.
Yeah, that's neat.
Peter Principle. So what do you think about it?
I feel like that happens probably very frequently in management. I mean, you do, I think, especially in fields like what we're in, social services. People don't get into social services. Like they go to school, they're in college, they think that they're going to help people. Like that's their whole like passion is to help people. And then you get into roles in like what in community mental health, and you're helping people, and you're out, you're doing your job, and you're good at doing task stuff. You get all your work, you get all your documentation done, and you're really good and have good clinical skills, and you have good outcomes on your cases.
I do. And thanks.
Yes.
You're talking about me.
I am. I'm talking about you personally.
Yeah.
And then people notice that you're doing a good job, and they're like, you're going to be a manager.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really assess whether or not you have management skills.
Mm-hmm.
You've got good work skills, but do you have good management skills?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, no.
It's kind of hard to know just from the interview, too. It's like you do an interview, like that one interview.
Yes.
How do you know that someone has good people management?
No,
skills?
You don't. Not from that. And I think that happens in a lot of other businesses as well. Like, my daughter's in cosmetology, and so she went to learn to, do hair. And, but she's working with people and like trying to figure out what salon she's going to go to. But most of those people also got into it to do hair, not to manage a salon, right? And so same thing with nurses. I feel like nurses and people like that are PAs and stuff, like they go into it to help people, and then they end up with this business, right? And
they're managing other people,
right? And now they're trying to manage a business, which is what all of these places are, and then manage people, which they weren't planning to do to begin with. So,
well, what happened to you?
What happened to me?
What happened to you? How did, what's your story? How did you get?
So how did I end up in management?
Yeah, how'd you get promoted?
Okay, so, well, I had been with the company for 2 years, and actually I had seen a lot of people like promote quickly or more quickly than I did. But where I was at, the location just didn't offer a lot of promotions. So it took me a couple years. I remember the very first time I interviewed, that interview. The interview.
The interview.
Yeah, for
the one
supervisor.
interview.
Yeah, the one interview. I can tell you a really funny story about that.
Please do.
So
I've never heard it.
You've never heard this story. The first time I interviewed, I remember I was out. So our job is, I did in-home counseling. So I was driving all over Middle Tennessee. And I remember I get a phone call from like the big boss. And she tells me that they've already decided to promote somebody else. And but she wants to know if I want to interview for experience.
So you hadn't even interviewed yet?
I hadn't even interviewed. I'm like out here. I'm like 24 years old. You know, this is like my first real job, and like the big boss is calling me to be like, we're not going to choose you, but I mean, you can interview for experience if you want to. And also being the naive child that I was like, sure. So I went and interviewed for the position.
I just wouldn't tell you. I'd be like, no, you're totally like.
Let me just keep it a secret.
Right.
You don't have to tell me. Anyway, but it's weird going into an interview. You know you're not going to get the job. You just know you're not going to get.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
I guess I want to be a supervisor.
But anyway, it wasn't long after that. I did. There was another opportunity, and I was put in that position, and so yeah, that's kind of how I ended up in a supervisory role. What about you? I don't know this story either. I don't know you. Who are you?
I'm Mary Linkus. I have 27 years. No. Well, let's see. What? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I stayed home with my kids for about 10 years, and I was still managing. Okay.
You were.
I was managing
a household is
I was managing a lot. Okay. Trust me. And also because I was that person. You know, you're that person, like you're the high performer at work. You're also the high performer in your life.
Yes.
And then other people see that. Like if you go to church, they're like, oh, she'll run all the children's programs and, you know, lead the, you know, youth group, whatever thing.
They'll go on the mission trips. And
they, you know, well, just because even other, you know, in other areas of your life, people know if you want to get something done, you talk to the people who do a lot.
Absolutely.
The people that are already busy are the people that you ask to do things.
Yes.
And so I stayed home with my kids for about 10 years. And then when I decided to go back into social services, I applied for the position, got the position, and 6 months later, basically, I was told, I wasn't even thinking.
Who were you told by?
Dana Kelly. I was told, you need to interview for this. And I was like, I don't know. I've only been here like 6 months. I don't really want to be a manager. And you're like, no, you have to interview because like you just have to. And
no, I think
I know what you guys saw. You guys were like, here's a 40-year-old woman. She can handle this. Like, look at all the things that she's already done in her life. She can be a manager. Come on. Same thing everybody else does. So, yeah, so I was like, well, I guess. And I did interview. I don't remember it at all. I don't remember that interview.
The only interview I remember with you, I don't remember your supervisory interview.
Yeah, that was the first
I do remember the very first interview with you. And that was when
I did not think I was going to get that position.
Tell them why.
Because the other person with you that was interviewing us fell asleep.
She sure did.
In my interview.
In the interview.
She was
and
like,
To her, like she was
She
very
was like
pregnant.
9 months pregnant.
She was so pregnant.
Yeah.
However, like don't fall asleep during someone else's interview.
But really, from my perspective, I was like,
oh man,
that's not a good sign. I'm not going to get this job. Not only did I get the job, 6 months later, y'all made me
I am almost certain I offered.
I feel forced. I felt kind of forced. And sometimes it's a matter of
I'm a big personality, okay, Mary? I can like come on strong.
Yeah, you think? So yeah, I think that at that point, I think sometimes too, you don't have as many choices of who to promote.
Oh, is that what you're saying? You're saying you were the only one?
I didn't say that's what happened with me. I'm saying
sometimes that does happen. That is very true.
That does happen.
I feel like that happens probably more frequently than.
So that could be another reason why you have someone completely unprepared to be a manager, because there's just not a lot of people to draw from. The pool is smaller.
And I think in some bigger places there's probably more turnover. Yeah. And so you're getting that turnover, and then you're having to offer to people who are less and less and less prepared for the job. Like I said, it had taken me like 3 years to promote, but in some places it's not like that because they've got people turning over all the time. Yeah. And so they're getting less and less and less prepared people for it. Also younger and younger and younger people. I remember the first time I realized like people's brains aren't like fully developed until they're 25, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're out here promoting like 22-year-olds.
Yeah, you're like,
who are having to manage 35-year-olds.
I can't rent a car, but I'm supervising like 15 people.
Yeah, so for sure.
We had some points on this.
Yeah.
Did we cover them?
No, I don't think we did. So tell me the moment you realized that leadership was chaos. I mean, do you think that leadership is chaos?
Oh gosh, I don't know about the point, but I think when probably the first time somebody had to go out on leave.
Oh.
Unexpectedly.
Yes.
And everything was going swimmingly. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, okay, this person's out on leave.
Who's supposed to do this job?
Yeah. How do you do this? And then trying to figure all of that, like all the moving pieces of coverage and, contacting, customers, clients, all that stuff, and trying to figure all that stuff out. And then it's kind of like, I'm the one responsible for this?
Yeah.
Like, am I the one responsible? Man, I'm the one responsible for this. And then, of course, you get to the point where that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like, it happens. You just know it's going to happen all the time.
Yeah, and it does happen all the time.
And there's not any normal week.
Never.
There's no normal week. There's always something. There's something. There's a customer complaint. There's somebody's going out on leave.
Somebody's sick.
Somebody does something unethical. Somebody's sick.
Somebody's on vacation. Scheduled.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, how about you?
I always say this has been like, never the same week twice, ever. Mm-mm. Has there ever been. I always say management is like playing chess with checkers. Like everyone else is playing chess. And all you have is checker pieces. That's and you're like, one. I know. I feel like that all the time. I'm like, this is such a complex thing for me to have to be responsible for. Yeah. And I only have little red pieces that can move one spot at a time. Am I supposed to, checkmate the king? I can't even get to him.
Right. I'm playing a different game.
I'm playing a different game with different pieces. This isn't fair.
I don't feel like somebody didn't give me the right pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So, 100%. Like, I feel like probably the first time I felt like it was chaos is like one of my first bosses in this job was just like never around. So it was like I was having to figure it out on my own with no guidance. Well, not no guidance. I had guidance. We have a mutual friend who also was a supervisor at the same time. So we were just like trying to figure. She also was the one who got the job before I did. So, she had like 6 months more experience on it than I did. So we were out here just trying to figure it all out together.
Yeah.
She's taking me out for smoke breaks, and I'm like...
You're figuring it. You're trying to figure out how to manage on the smoke breaks. You're like, yeah, well, what are you going to do?
She's like, come here, Dana.
How are you going to do that?
I'll just do this, Dana. Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So you had two high performers that were helping each other out.
That's right.
Trying to figure out a job that nobody taught you how to do.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. Like, I think there's a certain point where the reality sinks in. You know, it's kind of like, oh, now I'm having to supervise the person that I got the job that wanted the job. Like now I'm having to supervise that person who also interviewed, or maybe 2 or 3 other people that also interviewed for this job. And we were friends, you know, like we went out to lunch together, we hung out together. Now all of a sudden I'm supposed to be telling them what to do or checking their, you know, documentation and stuff.
Put you in a really awkward position.
Yeah.
Because you think, like, also sometimes the way people present to you as a friend is not the same way that they perform on a job. And so you don't know that they had issues.
you don't know
because
what
they're your friend.
You know they had issues. You just don't know what
well,
their
you didn't
work
know they
issues.
Were that. Yeah, you didn't know they were those.
Or you didn't know what they were.
Yeah. So you know that puts you in like a really awkward position. Now you're like, this is my friend. We hung out, and now I have to like tell them what to do. I also have to correct them.
Yep. And then like there's that whole thing where it just like the Peter principle, when high performers get promoted, you just assume everybody's like you.
Sure.
And so the people that are applying for the supervisor positions are being told that they have to interview for the supervisor position. They're just thinking everybody's just kind of going along doing their own thing. They're being responsible for their stuff, and you just think everybody's like you. So like, sure, this will be piece of cake. I got this. Like, you know, all I have to do is still be friends and like, you know, whatever. And then you realize pretty quickly that that's not the case.
No.
You're the cream of the crop. You know, like a lot of other people are really struggling and you had no clue. I mean, you just really had no clue. Like somehow conceptually you knew that people struggled in jobs, but you just, because that's your experience, that you don't struggle, you're responsible for your stuff. You think you think you're going to manage a whole team of you.
And you aren't.
No, there might be one. There might be one.
There might
on
be
the whole
one.
team.
And what if that person's kind of resentful that you got the job?
Yes. Yeah. So that's another thing is just like understanding, like, first of all, it's chaos. It's chaos every day.
Absolutely.
Secondly, there's some realities that you just don't consider.
Right.
And it takes a while. I think it takes a while to let that sink in. Like it really isn't something I think you can train.
No.
Because you have to experience it. And I know that people that I supervised, not so much now because I supervise supervisors, but you know, I know that my team felt the same way about me because the way I felt about my supervisor is that I thought they were just hanging out at the office all day. I was like out doing all this work and I thought they were just sitting at their desk all day. So
drinking coffee,
and I was
shooting the shit with their coworkers.
I thought that way too because I sometimes I'd call her and I'd be like, can't you just do that for me? Like, can't you just print that out or can't you just enter that for me? Or can't you like, I don't know, what are you doing? What do you do all day? And then I realized after I got
that you just have to do grids all day long.
Oh, it's just
you
so
love grids,
much
don't you?
Stuff.
Answer emails.
Well, that's the other thing. Being responsible for the boring stuff.
Yes.
You're
not ready.
Might be the worst thing.
Well, some people, I would say, I was not ready for that. Some people like to do that. Like I have some of my coworkers who just love a grid, a good grid.
That's true.
Man, they can be in Excel. That's their favorite place to be. Like, let them be there. That is not my favorite place
No.
to be. But, so they may not like to like open their door and talk to people.
I know some people like that. Yes, you're right. I gotcha. I was like, who likes grits? Yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah,
some people do.
There are some people that
some
like
people do.
Good.
And sometimes they go on to other positions where that's literally all they do. They
Sure.
don't even have to manage people. They just manage grids.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much of that stuff.
Yeah.
In management, just stuff that's necessary. Like, how much math?
Oh man, the math.
I don't know about you, but I majored in psychology, so I didn't have to do math.
I literally skipped. So I got out of psychology and went into sociology because.
So you didn't have to take statistics?
No, I did have to. I did have to take statistics. However, you could do qualitative research with sociology, and you had to do quantitative research with psychology. Smart. So I literally switched my major my senior year. It could have went either way. I had a psychology major, and then it was a minor in sociology, but I swapped it so I could do qualitative research, so I could talk to people.
Yeah.
And just get their perspective on they can write a research paper.
And numbers.
God, that's awful. And then you get into this and you're like, oh man, they want me to do math.
Do math about 20 times a day. I do so much math. And you're talking about chess? I feel like I'm working a Rubik's Cube every day.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like, okay, great, I got this side perfect. And then you turn it and you're like, oh, it's all messed up. All the other sides are messed up.
How did this happen?
And I just, all day long, paperwork, keep, working on the census, numbers, math, all of that. Meetings
that should have been emails. Mm-hmm. But all the emails as well.
Mm-hmm. I'd go back if I could, but I don't know how to do it anymore. I don't know how to do, I don't know. I can barely use the apps that I have to use now. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Do you think leadership is learned? Or it can be learned?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, eventually, you do learn it. Mm-hmm. And I think in some ways, even if you're trained in leadership methods or management methods, I think you still have to go through that learning process, because what it's like in the book and what it's like in real life.
We've been to so many trainings over the past 20 years. Mm-hmm. I think that people like to put it in a box.
Yeah.
How many have we went to and they're like, this is the method that you can use.
If you just do this.
A plus B equals C. And this is how you have to talk to staff. And if they have this issue, then you talk to them this way. And if you have a high performer, you talk to them like this, and you should work on this with your high performer and this with your low performer. And they have this formula and these boxes, and everybody should just fit in all these boxes just exactly the way. And then you get into it and you're like, what the crap?
No, none of those trainings had an impactful resonance with you that's still with you today, Dana. You wake up in the morning and you're like, that one dude that stood up on stage said, do you remember? What do you remember? Is there anything?
I only remember the bad ones. Which is also how we ended up here.
It's true. Yeah. I remember the guy that talked about the red rubber ball.
I do remember him. He was fun, though.
He was fun. Yeah. And he talked about, that's exactly what he talked about. Play in the workplace, having fun. And I was like, yeah, that resonates with me. I get it. Yeah. So we just need to make management fun. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that we're making management fun. We're making this fun. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think even if you were really classically trained in management theory,
you were a business administrator, you went through business.
You still
management. Yeah.
You still, there's a portion of it that has to be learned by doing and experience, and it's not automatic. Once you get promoted to supervisor, does not make you a supervisor. Mm-hmm. I don't think.
I think that like, me and you've talked about like being like, I think the thing that drove us to this is like we talked about like what makes a good manager, and I think that we've learned more from bad management. I mean, I personally have. It's like I learn, like if somebody does something terrible to me, I learn from that, and then I'm like, I'm never going to make a staff feel that way, or I'm never going to do that thing to that staff, and I've also learned by doing. And I am not at all saying that I am a perfect supervisor, because I have really screwed it up over the years.
We also learned from that too, right?
That's what I was about to say. I've learned from being a bad supervisor. I have. I mean, I've learned from the mistakes that I've made in the past. So I'm not at all like pointing my finger at somebody and saying they were terrible, or they were a bad boss, or they made a mistake in that. But I've also learned not only from their mistakes, but from my own, because there's no way to do this perfectly. Absolutely. There's no way that you can get into, and I think people can be natural leaders, and people can be drawn to leadership, whether or not you're in a leadership role or not. And then once you're in a leadership role, then you have to learn all the other stuff.
Yeah. And I think it's really important, even though you're not going to have it all down and you're going to make mistakes, I mean, forever probably, but one really important thing to, when you do get that promotion and that you're not prepared for, is the one major thing is boundaries, like knowing what your boundaries are, whether it be for yourself personally with the job, because you can tend to take on a little too much responsibility sometimes, and also boundaries with your higher ups, and boundaries with your staff, like thinking through. And this is okay, and the therapist in me is going to come out right now, just thinking beforehand, whatever situation you get into, think through what you want those boundaries to be. You don't have to verbalize them to anybody yet, but think through what those boundaries need to be first. And I'd say, honestly, even though you can't be 100% prepared, thinking through those boundaries can be huge, and I don't know that anybody really talks to you that much about that. I mean, I know that we've got some trainings about that, like, going from being, like a peer to being a supervisor. But I don't think we talk a lot about boundaries in the workplace.
Yeah, well, and I think especially in a helping field like what we're in, it's hard to set boundaries with your clients, right? So sometimes you take on too much with the clients that you serve. Right?
You learn real quick, though, if you don't set those boundaries, you're going to get burnout. You're going to get overworked. They're going to call you at midnight,
Right. And you're going to answer the phone, or you're going to go out and you're going to do the work for them, and thinking through that, like your staff will do that too. Like if you do too much for them, like because you think you are helping them.
That's right. Absolutely right. You can do that with your staff as well.
Yeah. You think I'm being a good supervisor. I want to help them. They're my staff. I want them to be successful. But you've not really set a clear boundary of like, well, this is my job and this is your job. How, it's that whole analogy, teach a person to fish. Right?
Yeah. You can
what is that?
Give a man a fish.
Yeah, that's it.
Give a man a fish and he has fish.
He eats for a day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Give a man a fish and he has a fish. That's what I came up with. Teach a man to fish, he has 1,000 fish. I like mine better.
Okay.
He eats for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he eats for a lifetime. As long as the fish
they're fish.
Stay around.
Are there fish?
I mean,
maybe you should teach them where to fish.
Where to fish, how to find the fish when the fish go away. We could go on and on, but you're right. You set that up, and if your staff learn that they don't have to think through and problem solve, and they're just calling you all the time, you think you're being supportive of them by answering every single thing, but then that burns you out because you're not just doing your job, you're doing their job too, and then they don't learn to fish, or where the fish are.
But some really good supervisors, I think, do a good job of like on the front end Like
Yeah.
putting the time in and helping people to be competent
Yeah.
in their jobs.
I would want that. I would want someone to show me how to do it right so that I don't have to keep bothering you about it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What else?
What else?
Are we ready for the Q&A?
Sure.
Got some fun little question for you.
Yeah. Do you have a question for me?
I thought I did.
Oh, you don't have it. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? You got all those papers over there.
I thought I wrote
Shuffle
it down.
through them.
Where'd I write it? Hold on.
It's on your hand.
Hold please.
Hold, please. It's going to be...
Hold please.
We're going to do the whole do.
Okay. Would you rather have an agree-disagree question? These are just random questions, by the way.
Oh, they're just random?
Yeah, like I'm going to go... I'm doing my own little random.
Okay, do it. I don't care. You choose.
Would you rather have a question or an agree-disagree? Giving you a choice.
Regular.
You're scared.
It's like truth or dare right
scared.
now. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, we could do truth or dare.
Oh, shoot. Let's not. 2 truths and a lie. There you go.
Okay,
Never have I ever.
Okay. This is a good question for you. Okay. Would you rather be... Would you rather be a humble leader or a confident leader?
Ooh.
Not allowed to say both.
Good Lord.
That's a good one, right?
It is a good question.
So.
Would I be humble? I would rather be a humble leader. Yeah. I think, not that I don't like confident leader. I want confidence.
They're both good things.
They are both good things. But if I feel like I want to have some humility. I would rather my team want to be a team with me and know that I've had some people who've like taken I don't know, some stuff from me.
Did what?
They
taken
took
some stuff for you?
Not stuff for me. Like they've used my stuff and they've taken credit for it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like credit takers.
I thought you were saying taking stuff for me, like taking it on the chin for me, like taking it for me. Like that's a good thing. No, but taking your material.
I feel like they've used it as I don't know. That's how it feels for me. But I feel like humility's the better of the two. Yeah. I want to be humble.
Yeah. I saw something funny.
Because I can't do anything without them. I'm not a team.
Yes.
Like they're my team. They're my people.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I like that. I like that answer. You just said something about people taking credit for things. And I saw something funny the other day about like how you can effectively say, like in a meeting when somebody else takes credit. I shouldn't even started this conversation because I can't remember even what it was. But it was something like how you can respectfully say, like, hey, that's my stuff.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I don't remember what.
Now you don't remember what it was? You brought it up, and now you're.
But it's out there.
Okay.
It's out there. You have a question
for
me?
You
want me to answer that one too?
Answer it for yourself.
Yeah, I would agree. I think while yes, it would be great to be both, and confidence is important. I agree with you that I think I would rather be a humble leader because we can also learn from the people we lead. I mean, just because you're the leader doesn't mean that you know everything. And it doesn't mean that your people you're leading don't know more than you about certain things or have a different perspective.
I think you want to surround yourself with people who know more than you.
Yes.
Like, I want to be surrounded by competent people. And I think, like, we work really well as a team. Like, we have a team of people that we work with. Mm-hmm. And I can easily come to any of you and we will work out a problem together, right? I don't need somebody coming to me every single time and thinking that I'm the expert and I have everything together and I have all the answers. Even with all these, decades of experience, I don't want that. I don't need that kind of pressure on myself. Like, I want to work as a team with my team, and they don't need to be coming to me for the answer all the time. I feel like we need to work together, and I need to surround myself with competent
Yeah, you want to
people.
have a team of people who are, you know, really good at what they're doing and can work together, and
Right.
you know, you can help.
They can go to each other as
Right.
much as they can come to me, right? Like, they can go to their teammate, and they're as well trained, and maybe they're better at something than I am, or maybe they're better than each other, you know, on certain things, and they can go to each other and be like, I really suck at this. How do you do that? Or how can I do that better? I've seen you do this, you know.
Well, I had it written right here. I just saw it. I had it typed out, and I just went.
Okay,
looked.
now I gotta
that
know.
was the question I was going to ask, and I didn't even remember that. That's
Oh,
good.
that was your question?
Go me.
Oh, you didn't even know? You've
I
forgotten
typed
that
out,
it was?
and it just blended in with the rest of the stuff. I'm still trying to figure out my note-taking process here. Okay.
Okay.
No, but you know that I'm always right. This is where. This is where I'm gonna contradict myself here about being humble. That's not true. You know that I am often right.
You
Go
are
ahead and
often
agree.
right.
Go ahead and agree
No,
with
I definitely
and
agree
it's
with that.
not because I know everything. It's because if I don't know it, I will say I don't know it.
Yeah.
If I do
But
say
that's
if I say I
humility,
know it,
though.
if I say I know it, I'm right.
You are right.
So I'm just saying, but I'm completely fine with admitting I don't know.
Hey,
And
you'll tell me I wouldn't have answered that question if I didn't, if I wasn't confident in it.
I'm fine with saying I don't know.
Yeah.
So like I'm completely fine with asking my team, I don't know. What do you think? God, somebody called me, that phone call that I got that messed me up on yoga. It was a very difficult situation, and the truth is I don't think anybody has an answer for it, and we're just doing the best we can. And I was just like, and this was like not one of my supervisors, this is like a frontline staff that was calling me, and I was like, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm out of ideas.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we have to ask. I think we have to ask that question a lot of times. I think we have to think that we don't know everything all of the time.
Yeah.
And be able to say, I don't know the answer to that. I think supervisors immediately think they have to have all of the answers.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's fine to be competent, but I think that if that is your goal, then, you're not gonna take all of that information in that can be really valuable from other people, even subordinates. So.
Yep.
You have one for me?
Let's see.
Do we have time?
5 minutes left.
Okay.
5 minutes. 5 minutes, countdown. All right. Let's see. Agree or disagree? You should be friends with your staff.
Absolutely not.
Uh-oh.
That's a tricky one because I think it's possible.
Yes.
But it also depends on what you mean by friends.
Okay.
And how good your boundaries are.
Okay.
I think sometimes you might get a promotion, you're already friends.
Sure.
Or maybe you just work with someone for such a long time that it's hard not to be friends. We have a little bit of trauma bonding in our field.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of hard. And I think in some ways it's good to have close relationships, but you have to really know what your boundaries are. And I think if you're going to be friends with your staff, I think that conversation needs to be had. Like, I think you need to have that, just like I said, you got to think about your boundaries before. And I think there needs to be a conversation with that friend. Like, this is my role. This is your role. Like, you and I are friends. You're also my boss.
I am.
Dana's my boss. And we do have those conversations. And sometimes you will have to say, I'm telling you this from this perspective.
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from as your friend, but I'm telling you that this is the goal that we have.
Yep.
And I think in a lot of ways it helps us because we are friends. I listen to your perspective.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're not friends with your boss, you might be like, not even care about their perspective. But it's kind of like, I want you to be able to do your job well too.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I answer it?
Yeah, I think it's a maybe, right? I think it's
a maybe.
It depends.
It's a question. It's. I would say if someone made me say yes or no, like if I had to say yes or no, I'd probably say no.
Yeah. And for me, like, and I tell people this, like in my role, I'm a middle manager, and I work away from my peers, and I work in an office with everybody is, subordinate, and I put that in quotations. They're not.
Right.
Everybody, reports to me,
yes.
right? Yes. And so I think that I have to be clear, just like you said, I have to be clear, right? Like I have to know that if you're my friend, that at the end of the day, I have to hold you accountable for whatever I'm being held accountable for, right? Like, and I feel like everyone who I would consider my friends has my back on that too, and knows I'm not just coming for them on stuff. It's, I have to, they're my friends, right? They know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever I'm doing, I'm having like their back too.
Yes. Or you feel like, and I do feel like even if you're not friends, having that level of transparency can be really helpful too, to let other people understand the reason why.
Right.
Like I'm not just coming at you about this because
this is why.
I want to annoy you. This is the long-term reason why.
And we can be frustrated together, but how are we going to move forward?
Right. I mean, this is where I am. This is where you are. How can we move forward together? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. All right. Well.
All right. That's how we got here. 40 plus years experience between the two of us.
Ugh.
A lot of lessons, a few things I think we do differently.
We tired.
We are tired. I'm tired from your bad bed last night. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So if you've ever worked for a bad boss, or you're worried you might be one, you're in the right place. And this is barely manageable because leadership isn't perfect.
And neither is this podcast.
Obviously. It's barely manageable. So link, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Please leave us a 5-star review. It would really help us to share the podcast. Share the podcast with all your friends.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.